Zacks Rank Buys, stocks with a short-term buy or strong buy recommendation. Now, here are more Zacks Rank Buys. Let's talk about some value stock pick ideas now with Tracey Ryniec, who's our value stock strategist at Zacks.com. Certainly brought an interesting mix with you to talk about today, even though there's only two of them. First one, EnPro Industries, that you've written about recently. NPO is the ticker symbol. They are in the industrial sealing product business.
Yes.
So polymers and probably what, resins and stuff like that?
Yes, and then I'm looking down to actually say what they do. They do, one of their big areas is making seals for heavy duty trucking and natural gas fired engines.
Yeah.
So
it's a shame they can't come up with a sealer for that leak in the Gulf.
I know, yeah. But their focus is a little bit different than what that is, obviously, with the trucks and autos. Mm-hmm. But, you know, things are looking up for them because that's a lot of the big industrial uses for their products. Right. And they just reported first quarter earnings, which were really good. They easily beat on the Zacks consensus. And they saw sales up 23%, which is another sign that we've been seeing as I come here and talk about a lot of these industrial companies, that, you know, the industrial side is really picking up. They saw a pickup in the truck area and automotive, both of those segments, but both of their bigger segments saw sales gains. And they also said they see this extending through the second half of the year, which is another positive thing for the recovery. And they're seeing this worldwide. I mean, they have customers in 100 countries. Oh. So they are big in industrial use for these materials. Yeah. And so, you know, estimates are up big because of the big beat. And they didn't give guidance, but the analysts are really positive here going forward because of what they said with this extending through the second half of the year. You can see from the chart that it's, you know, it's come off the bottom, like everything has off that March bottom. Mm-hmm. I put up the 3-year chart so that you can kind of see it's not really hit those new highs yet, but given, you know, kind of what they've been saying, the stock isn't very expensive here. It's trading a little around 12 times forward. So, you know, it still has a good story.
And then here's one that more people may recognize, Cabelas, CAB, the ticker symbol, that specialty retailer of outdoor equipment.
Yes, yeah, more people would know this company because, like you said, they do, you know, a lot of outdoor fishing, camping, hunting, and they have.
I think I just said that.
Right, they have 30 stores around the country, so they are kind of more of a niche player, but their website is also actually doing quite well and is popular. So if you don't live near one of their stores, you can still get their products.
Order, right?
Yeah, and they just reported as well and saw a record first quarter actually, and that was off of better sales of gun and ammunitions than what they thought they were going to see. That is supposed to have been slowing down because I know we've talked about this before. Those sales have really been soaring since President Obama came into office. And then they did expect that to kind of taper off, but it hasn't been tapering off as much as they thought. But they're also getting a boost off of some of their other segments like fishing and footwear actually is also popular. So sales were up about 5% year over year, which is pretty good. The same store sales were actually down a little bit, like 2%, but they did, or a little bit over 1%, I should say, but they did see a gain in their direct sales, which is off of their website and other avenues. Okay. So that was all good for them. Again, the estimates are soaring. They didn't give guidance either, but given the first quarter and what they're seeing, analysts are all really bullish here about what's going on. The chart is a lot like the retail stocks we've seen. I put up the 5-year chart here. They're not at the 5-year high yet, and you can actually see a little bit of a turn down in the stock price after this correction last week, which hit some of the retailers a little bit harder than some other segments. But the stock is trading around 12 times. It's now actually a Zacks #2 rank, and it was a 1 when I wrote about it, but that's a rank buy. So, you know, that outlook looks pretty good for them here.
All right, do you own either of these two?
I do not.
You can actually read more about the value stocks that Tracey writes about, more about the value stocks that we talk about here, on our website at Zacks.com. Up in the upper right-hand corner is where we post all of these stock pick ideas for you. One in each of the investing categories written about on the website each day, but if you go into a particular category, you can get a small archive of others that have been written about recently in that same category. With Tracey Ryniec, I'm Terry Ruffalo.